Welcome to another episode of Highland Deck Tech, the show where we tech out our decks and show them to you. Wait, no, that didn't sound right. The show where you get to see our decks. No, that's not. Well, anyway, let's just start the episode.
Hey folks, Chris, Highland CCG. Have another deck tech video. This is a pretty specific kind of deck. It was for Horsemen Pauper tournament. You won't see you'll see some stuff that is pretty ubiquitous, but there's other stuff that it's not so much. Or like, why isn't that particular card in here? It's because it wasn't allowed, probably. Because I had to stick with this, but I thought this. I looked at kind of what I could use, and I had a Rukh egg deck that I already built, and I could pretty much use that deck with a few exceptions. Obviously, no Wheel of Fortune, no forks or fireballs, and that kind of stuff, because that's in revised. But I was pretty happy with this deck. It did pretty well getting into it. The thing that was cool about this deck in this format was there weren't really any big creatures, especially big flyers, and so with the Rukh eggs I could get out a 4/4 flyer, which then dominated, and this is built around that. So I have the Rukh eggs, I have 4 of those, and then just ways to kind of kill them or utilize them. So I'd buff them up with unstables or bloodlusts. The unstables would eventually kill the Rukh egg, which then would bring in the Rukh. The bloodlust would make it a weaker creature so that it was more likely to die in combat, and then likewise I could get the Rukh. When it was bloodlusted, it was also down to 1, so after combat I could pyrotechnics it, or multiple ones. Chain lightning, that one's cool because I could chain lightning the Rukh and Rukh egg, and then because it was my Rukh egg I could then chain it, pay 2 to chain it. So I could either kill another Rukh egg, or I could do 3 to my opponent or his creatures. So that was a nice little thing there. And then Blazing Effigy, when those die, they deal 3 damage to target creature. So when this guy would die, then I would kill a Rukh egg. Immolation, I could put that on there to make it 2/1, which would then probably die in combat. So mostly. And then I had the Psychic Purges, which would do 1 damage, so like in that Bloodlust case or the Immolation case, or just to use against my opponent too, but a lot of times it was to kill one of these when they were weakened to get the Rukh out. So yeah, it's all kind of built around that. I have 2 Felden's Canes in here. I don't know why I have so many. I'm just going to take one out now. Let's just do that. I'd rather not have 2. I like Felden's Cane a lot. I was probably worried about like if I needed more bloodlusts or unstables and like running out of them and stuff. And then I had a couple other weird things going on. So I had the Astronaut's Altar. So that was another one where you can sacrifice one of your creatures to add 2 colorless mana. So I could sacrifice a Rukh egg, and then the Rukh would come out. And then Orcish Mechanic, tap him to do 2 damage to any target. Every time I use this ability, I have to take a artifact and put it in the graveyard. So I had some Ornithopters as some fodder there. The altars could also become fodder for that. Just another way to do direct damage if I needed to, because sometimes the game comes down to like they're down to a few life, but I can't get over their defenses or whatever. So like it's good to have those options. Yeah, and then last I had these. I made these. I thought when I was looking at the Rukh egg. I have a Drake in my deck, and I was looking at the Rukh egg. I'm like, these look very similar, this guy and this guy. So I thought, why not make some tokens? So I got some, I don't know, what are they, 4th edition or Chronicles, and just painted them up quickly, and I was pretty happy with them, and I think they're kind of fun. I like the red a lot. The red turned out pretty nice. So yeah, did that. Later on I got these official 8th edition Rukh tokens, but honestly I kind of like these homemade ones better. I don't know. You tell me what you prefer, but obviously I'm biased because I made these. And I don't know, the homemade stuff, it's kind of more fun, more reminiscent of old school. So anyway, I thought this was a cool deck. It does, it's got a lot of things going on in order to get those Rooks out. And like I said, in that particular format of 4 Horsemen and Pauper, there wasn't really a lot of an answer to Rook Egg. I think there was one, shoot, I don't remember what card it was now, but there was something that a couple of opponents had where it would remove something from the game, and so they would remove these from the game, which, ruins everything. That was kind of the Achilles heel, so I did play against that a couple of times. And yeah, if they remove these from the game, there's not really anything I can do because they don't become Rooks, and then they're gone. So then it's down to like the flying men to kind of hold down the fort, which doesn't usually go well if they're just there by themselves. But yeah, I think it's pretty fun. There are options. I can do direct damage to people. I can buff up other creatures in here, and then of course bring out those big flyers. It's one of my favorite ones. I have this one. I keep it intact to play with, and yeah, I'm kind of happy with its result. It holds up pretty well. Obviously, when you're playing not 4 Horsemen Pauper, people have a lot of things that are stronger and can overpower this deck, but I still think it was a fun one. I had good memories playing with it, so just wanted to share that with you. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Hope tomorrow's even better, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.